Hello and welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 24th September 2019. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Peddlers Marketing, the digital marketing agency that helps small businesses go digital. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
This week, LinkedIn introduced tests to gain skills. Snapchat is adding a 3D camera mode. Instagram announces new apps restrictions for diets and cosmetic surgery. Facebook to include new features ahead of year-end holidays. Facebook will remove group stories this week, and Facebook acquires Service Friend, which builds chatbots. First up, LinkedIn introduces tests to gain skills. There has always been a problem with LinkedIn's endorsement and recommendations features. They are provided by someone who do not reflect the actual ability at that skill. LinkedIn actually just announced a new feature that remedy this. So we know the problem with endorsement and recommendations is that people always get their friends to do the recommendation
And it's not
endorsement.
Yeah.
There has no real credential, and HR people cannot use that to determine if this person actually even knows what they're talking about, right?
Yep, correct.
So LinkedIn is introducing this thing called skills assessment, which is a quiz that a person needs to take in order to gain a badge. This makes it easier for hiring managers to verify if a person really knows something. The user can also control the results of the test. So if they didn't pass the test, they can actually hide it. If you do pass, LinkedIn will connect you with relevant jobs, which is good. And they will also recommend learning courses to help you get better at a skill, assuming you did not pass or you want to get better, like level 2, level 3, level 4.
Yep, correct.
This is actually I personally think that it's turning out to be something like a freelancer and Upwork, where you actually have to pay money, pay credit to take tests, and take tests to get the credentials. Then people who want to hire you can see all the credentials you have.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I think this is a good move for LinkedIn as well, because it will further boost, because nowadays job in demand for skill set is so specialized and it changed so fast that, we don't have time to study one degree for 3 to 5 years and then go into the job market.
Yeah.
We'll be outdated and outcast by the time.
Especially, let's say, for example, if you want to be specialized in just one thing, like Google ads or Facebook ads, then you can take that test on LinkedIn. And with LinkedIn's accreditation, you can prove to a hiring manager that you're at least competent in it. Level 1, level 2, level 3. And then with that, you don't even need a bachelor's degree. With that, you can go in and you probably get a job.
Correct, yeah. Or maybe a contract basis job, at least something.
Yeah, you start with something. At least there is a job opportunity somewhere.
Correct.
Especially for people who cannot afford to go to very expensive universities and colleges.
Agree. Yeah, and also one thing, it also helps to reduce the student debt ratio in the country and globally.
Yeah.
So like people won't start off by 30, 50K worth of debt.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just 1, 2K or maybe 3 to 5K.
Yeah,
and then
maybe
you work
3 to 5K.
around the way.
It's still fine, 3 to 5K, and you take less than 3 years to finish. So you can get into the workforce earlier.
Yep.
And if halfway through you find that you don't like what you're doing and you want to change, you can actually go do something else, take another accreditation and then go do something else.
Yeah,
and
correct. Agree.
The ability to move around jobs and move around skills is actually a lot better. And you can, as a student, right? As a student, you can experiment on certain jobs or a certain skills or a certain course without costing a lot of money. For example, let's say if you're a student, imagine at that point of time when you're a student, right? If people say you want to go to science stream or go to art stream, you want to be a graphics designer or you want to go into marketing or you want to be let's say a chemist or an engineer, you won't know until you actually try it out, right?
Yes, correct.
Some people will know, but most people don't. So if you don't know, you don't take the risk because the cost of the risk is too high. You need to go to a course, go in there, pay about 10,000-15,000, then realize that it doesn't work.
Yeah, correct.
Then your parents are gonna choke you to death.
Yeah, and you have to learn things that you don't like.
You learn things that you don't like.
Which is inside the syllabus.
Exactly.
Such as Tamadun Islam.
Well, these are the things that we have to because of
Malaysian studies.
Yeah, Malaysian studies. So the problem here is that does not allow a student or a young person to actually experiment on things to find out whether they like it or not.
Correct, yes.
There are many people who, let's say, do not like engineering, but they have to continue and finish it either way. And they really, really suffered because they have no choice. They have taken that leap and they have to go all the way till the end.
Yep, correct.
And when they get the degree, they work for a few years and then they end up saying, you know what, I can't do this. Then they end up doing something else.
Yes, correct.
Going into marketing or becoming a real estate agent or becoming an accountant or whatever. This allows people to experiment on stuff and at a very low cost.
Yeah, I completely agree also.
If at all, I hope that LinkedIn, maybe if they will charge maybe just a little bit, not too much, just so that it helps them keep a very good quality.
Yes, correct.
But not to a point where, you charge people like
to gain profit. And then you just end up like our standard university.
Yeah.
There's no point, right?
And then you go back to a problem where only the rich can afford to do all this and the poor cannot afford to do it.
Yep, correct.
They do have the ability to level the playing field when it comes to rich and poor and how they obtain education.
Yes, correct. And also I think skill sets like that, the very special thing about human skill set or this thing, right? Let's say for instance finance. You go into for instance accounting, you learn about account stuff, audit, tax accounts, and what not. So all you learn is just finance related stuff. Sometimes some people like internal audit but don't like external audit kind of thing. So, but what if this particular individual he or she likes let's say personal finance and he learns personal finance, but he has something that is out of finance, which is accounting, for instance, soft skill like communication skills.
Yep.
He likes public speaking.
Yes.
So by learning these two skills, he could even become a public figure or a speaker for personal finance. It's a new job itself.
Like a public speaker for, let's say, financial planning or personal financial planning.
Correct.
Yeah. It really makes sense because it also allows people who already know what they want to pick which skills they need
that they want and they like
to be better at where they go want to go to.
Yeah.
And they eliminate the unnecessary lessons from other things.
Correct. So and you fully develop your own potential personality.
Yeah, that is true.
So I think this is a good move.
So if let's say if we see a potential for LinkedIn to become an alternative school, like if they were to develop this education thing with proper people who knows how to write syllabus and knows how to do all these things very well, right? LinkedIn can potentially be a good place for education.
Yep.
And to upskill and to hire as well, and to also be a professional social media platform. I think if they were to build this well, I think LinkedIn is in a trajectory to be a very, very good and very substantial and professional social media platform.
Yep, correct. And not just social media, probably even educational industry, LinkedIn Academy.
Yes, LinkedIn Academy, LinkedIn schools. Then they provide courses and it's a very healthy thing they're doing. Hopefully, being Microsoft, I hope they don't get greedy and start to make money off of every corner of it.
Yeah, just make enough.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah, Microsoft, we're talking to you. Just do it for the people. You have made a lot of money, so
you don't need so many.
Do something to give back to humanity, and I think you're doing a very good thing here.
Yeah, let's screw it up. Yeah. All right. Next up, Snapchat is adding a 3D camera mode. Remember Facebook's 3D photos, the ones where you take a photo and Facebook automatically generates a spatial depth to it? You can move your mobile device and it reacts. Snapchat has just announced the launch of a similar feature called 3D Snaps. This feature is being rolled out in batches globally. At the time of this report, we haven't gotten the chance to try it yet, but Snap's promotional video shows that it is going to be simply choosing camera mode from the right side functions, then shooting the image and applying filters. We can even export the image to be uploaded elsewhere, but we don't know if it tilts well, if the tilts will export together.
Remember when Facebook came out with this, I think it's called Facebook 3D photos.
Yes, correct. It was some while ago and then it just died.
Yeah, it started off as something new. It became quite a trendy thing and then it died off.
Yeah,
right?
People take picture of cake lah, la.
Yeah, I personally think that they applied it onto a wrong platform.
Yes.
If they would have put it on Instagram, it would have been
much more
a success.
Yes, correct.
Instagram stories, it would have been a great success because Facebook has already become a place where we share other people's content rather than create content.
Yep.
Our own content. Whereas Instagram is a place where we create our own content.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of feature is a very create your own content kind of feature.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were to apply it well onto Instagram, it would be a very, very successful feature.
The potential to take off is way higher.
Yeah. But instead, they put it on Facebook instead. And they tried, I guess it's because Facebook they're hoping for brands to pick it up instead of human beings, users, general users. And it didn't pick up because brands are more interested in just creating professional videos or professional images. They're
not keen to explore.
Yeah, they're not keen to explore these kind of things. It's the people who explore these things.
Yeah.
It's the users who actually do all the exploring and testing. And then when it picks up, the brands will follow users.
Yes, correct. Because brands they have to go through procedure, approval, what kind of research, and much hassle for a new thing to try out. So.
And they always have to meet their KPIs and everything. So brands are not too adventurous when it comes to trying out new stuff. Yeah. They're more worried about just like meeting their KPIs, whether it can ROI or not, these kind of things.
Yep, correct.
So we can see that Snapchat adding this camera mode will most probably work very well for Snapchat because Snapchat is kind of like Instagram.
Yep.
Instagram stories. They are a part where we do a lot of content creation rather than content sharing. And if Snapchat picks it up and it does very well, there is a chance that Facebook might go like, oh, I didn't think of that. Let's copy it by using the technology we already have on Facebook and put it onto Instagram.
Which is called, correct. oh dear.
It feels very
copycat.
Very weird, right? It's like you already have a technology, but you put it on the wrong room.
Sometimes when you have too many things in hand, you can't see things clearly.
Yeah, I think this is the problem with Facebook. They're trying to do too many things, so they're good at nothing.
Yeah, they can't focus. They need Marie Kondo.
Yes, they need Marie Kondo. So Marie Kondo needs to go in there and declutter their platform.
I think Marie Kondo give up on Facebook. Don't know where to start. All right,
next one.
Instagram announced new ads restriction for diet and cosmetic surgery. Instagram will be restricting posts for users under 18 years old that promote the use of certain weight loss products or cosmetic procedures, and that have an incentive to buy or includes a price. This was an announcement made by Instagram last week after consulting various health experts. This is part of companies' aim to reduce harmful impacts of social media and the pressure it can be placed on users. Because Instagram users are generally younger, it is something they need to work on.
I think there's a key to this thing. The keywords being the restriction only applies for users under 18 years old, and it is the promotion of the use of certain weight loss products, certain being also a keyword, or cosmetic procedures. So let's say if a person who is over 18, you can do whatever you want and nobody... It does not apply. This restriction does not apply to you.
Yep. And if you think that this certain weight loss product is not a weight loss product, then you are free to do it.
Then you're free to do it as well. So it's arguable in a sense. And also, let's say cosmetic procedures. Let's say if you are under 18, but you have done a cosmetic procedure, but you do not talk about it on Instagram you don't talk about it on Instagram, but it's there. It's very obvious, right? Suddenly your nose become like longer and sharper the next day. But you don't talk about it, then it's fine.
Yeah, you didn't promote, I just take photo only.
Yeah, I just take photo of it or I take a video of it.
Yep,
then
correct.
It's fine. Oh, look at my nose. That's it.
Nose feeling hot today.
Yeah. My nose is itchy. Scratch.
That's kind words turn.
Yeah. So I think this issue is that Instagram knows that they need to do something to protect the young people, but they don't want to do it at the cost of their advertising revenue. Maybe because this industry pays a lot of money in advertising.
Of course, it's cosmetic and diet.
So if they really are trying to reduce the harmful impacts of social media and the pressure it places on users, they should restrict it across the board, because children under the age of 18 can still look up to people over 18 years old for weight loss and diet and cosmetic surgery tips and tricks and all these. They can get influenced by older people as well. Yep. Not necessarily people within their own range, age group, right?
And in fact, it's even stronger.
It's even stronger, because they're maybe better at it. They have more money, so they can do more.
Yes, correct. Imagine like let's say, oh, look, Kim Kardashian does her nose. So what's wrong with me doing my own?
Exactly, right? Yeah, I can do it as well. Kim Kardashian does not fall into this category because she's not under 18.
So this rule is redundant.
So yeah, so to us, I think we can safely say this ad restriction by Instagram is
For the sake of writing.
just for the sake of good PR.
Yes,
That's all.
correct.
Yeah, just for journalists to write up about it, like us reporting about it. Next up, Facebook to include new features ahead of year-end holidays. The final mile for holidays is upon us, and Facebook is preparing for that as we speak. They will be releasing 3 new advertisement features that will give them more appeal. First up, Facebook is the video polling on newsfeed. Learning from their success with Instagram poll stickers, Facebook knows this feature will help brands interact with users better. Unlike their old method of polling, which they removed years ago, I was very sad when they removed it. But I'm very glad because when they had the old polling system, they were running on a desktop format, which before they transformed into the mobile app. And now that they are fully in the mobile app, they're bringing this back again. It will only come in the form of larger buttons like on Instagram stories, option A or option B, which is interesting because a lot of users interact with polls. They interact. The Instagram stickers is a raving success. The polls, the questions, the multiple choice questions. These things work very well. And I think it's something that Facebook can actually adopt to Facebook from Instagram because it creates a kind of engagement that is very important between brands and users. Secondly is they are actually expanding their AR ad tool to let users test out clothing and accessory before buying something. They have been doing this before, but I don't think we have gotten it at this part of the world. They have only been testing it in US or maybe Australia and New Zealand. Maybe the G7 countries.
Because they are rich, so to say. And also they're more into they're more into social media than us as compared to especially in AR features.
Actually, you'll be surprised, Malaysia is actually the highest user of Facebook in the world.
Facebook, yeah. But how about the AR kind of thing? You don't have that kind of technology support.
In general, we do have AR as well. We have the most advanced. We have the most advanced mobile devices in our urban areas because why? Western countries are not so they don't follow technology as much as here.
Okay, all right.
Because our hunger for the most advanced mobile device, right, is actually a Korean and Japanese trend.
Okay. All right.
And especially the Koreans, not even the Japanese, especially the Koreans, they are the ones that always want the newest phone first. So this kind of trend is a Korean trend. Like you go to Australia, New Zealand, and the US and Canada, right? They don't care what mobile device they use as long as they get whatever, as long as they get the job done. That's it.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, the rest they don't care. So technically, if you add that with the fact that Malaysia is the highest user of Facebook in the whole world, Facebook should actually be focusing on Malaysia first, but they are focusing in
the US.
The US. And Australia and New Zealand, not because of the users, but because of the brands that they can work with.
Okay.
It's closer to home and they can easily negotiate with them and run tests with them.
Culture is similar.
The culture is similar, yes.
And discuss things easier. When you're talking to Asian, they probably talk about and discounts.
Or maybe. So we suspect that this new ad tool feature will probably be made available in the US and neighboring countries first before Malaysia and rest of Asia, and it will probably never even come to this part of the world where they probably reach a point where we're not monetizing enough, we're gonna close it down before it reaches here.
True, agree.
The third one is Facebook's playable ad format, which lets users play a game. This can either be done by a game developer or just a brand attempting to drive conversions or other objectives. This one is interesting because we work with our past clients. Facebook posts quite frequently about playing games. Like we do crossword puzzles, or we hide certain objects in images and videos and ask people to look for it. So traditionally, what happens is we would do it. We would post an image like this, and the audience would just like comment and say, "Oh, it's in the top right corner of something, and it's where it is, everything." But now we can actually build a game where people can spot the difference. Click on it, and the circle will come up. Where
it's like a classic arcade game. Like that.
Kind of, yeah. It will probably be a very classic arcade game format where it's just for people to. It's a good activation exercise. It's a good awareness reach exercise. It's a good way to claim a promo code. Let's say,
yeah. You can, like, for instance, like Pokemon Go. You can take your Shopee ball and just throw and catch the promo code.
Yeah, exactly. That's provided they can strike a deal with Pokemon, which Pokemon will most probably not want to work with Shopee.
Yeah, it's like catch this Pokemon and get a promo code.
Yeah, or maybe can get Cristiano Ronaldo to score a goal.
My God.
And you're not scoring with a ball.
Yeah.
You're scoring with like a Shopee card or something.
Or Cristiano, or the AI Cristiano Ronaldo blocking the what you call that,
the goalpost.
Yeah. And then you just throw the ball.
Yeah,
the
maybe
ball.
yes.
Yeah, this kind of thing.
That works too for Shopee. Yeah, Shopee, if you're listening, this is a good idea for you to prepare for Christmas. My concern here though is that these kind of posts, these kind of games are very difficult to develop, right? Will Facebook actually come up with a creation kit, a template for everyone, for every brand to use, or do we have to actually hire a skillful person to code this thing from scratch?
I really have no idea, because generally speaking, I would expect Facebook to create it for us.
Yeah.
Which I doubt they will do a very good job of. But
yes.
Looking at their Facebook ad where they said, hey, here's a video template, kit that you can use to create your video ads, and it just doesn't look good.
No, I completely agree with you. They haven't done a very good job at making it easy for people to use their platforms, to use their posts and platforms and everything. And if it's gonna be a coder doing it, right, it'd probably be built based on HTML5, which means that actually not many agencies have the skill for this. And if that's going to be it, I can foresee that only very, very few brands can use it effectively.
Yeah, correct.
Which means that no matter how well you market this playable ad for feature, very few brands will pick it up and turn it into something.
Yep, and it's very risky, which goes back to the KPI, which goes back to the research and yada yada, and nobody will pick it up.
Yeah, and it's going to be costly as well.
Yep,
right?
Definitely.
If they create a creation kit, then it'll be cheaper. If it's cheaper, more people will do it.
But it will come down to quality.
It'll come down to quality as well. Yeah, so it's a bit of a balance here they have to work with.
Yeah. All right, next up, Facebook will remove group stories this week. Let's start by explaining what a group story is, because before we move on, I believe many don't even know this function. Yep, me too. Group stories is the ability to contribute to stories in a Facebook group. If you are active in the Facebook group of a club, you will know this. This announcement came just 1 week after Facebook announced an option for public figures share stories with their fans in an event. The service will stop on 26 September. All existing stories will be removed. While past content can be accessed via archive, we will no longer be able to post them up. This is perhaps due to Facebook's intention to make this feature available to the general public instead of just keeping it in groups, which is a good move to go
to the next
scale.
Yeah, it is a good move. Like last week, we talked about how Facebook is planning to create an area where multiple people can contribute to the same story. Like let's say there's an event, a Tomorrowland event, where the Tomorrowland organizers, the bands and also the crowd can actually contribute to the same story. And it creates a more vibrant environment from different angles and different points of view.
Yep.
This is what group stories initially was about, where you have multiple contributors in a group to contribute to a single storyline.
Got it.
Different frames of a story in a single 24 hours. And if they were to remove group stories from Facebook groups, I believe they will replace it with generally this new format where they can have multiple contribution stories, which is essentially the same.
Yeah, correct. And also I wonder how they're going to limit the posting. You're going to see a lot of mini tabs on per story.
Yeah. Here's what I think, right? If they would have picked up something from Snapchat, because Snapchat is very good at this stories thing. They have learned all these things already, right? So if they would have learned a lesson from Snapchat, here's what I think they would do it. They will put a maximum ratio per day. like let's say, for example, if you are in a Tomorrowland event, right? If you allocate 50% of all posts that goes to Tomorrowland organizers, and 30% goes to the bands, and 20% goes to the people. And then based on these allocations, right, there will be a collection area, and this area will collect and they will pass out, and it will randomly select 20%. Let's say, for example, 20% of 20 posts per day would be 40 posts, right? No, sorry, 4 posts. Let's say 4 posts. So these 4 posts will be allocated in random for selection from the crowd.
Okay.
So of that 20 posts, maybe 10 will come from the events because there's 50%.
Yep.
And the other, say, 6 will come from the bands, and the other 4 will come from the crowd.
Okay, right.
Because if they were to allow just about anyone to post anything at any time,
the stories will
be hectic. It will be chaotic.
Yeah, imagine if let's just say the opening ceremony, you'll be seeing the same firework for probably the next 20 of people.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because there are a few key things that people pay attention to, right? And if that's the thing that people pay attention to, then everybody will post the same thing and it will be the same thing everywhere.
That's correct. All right, next up, Facebook acquires Service Friend, which builds chatbots. Service Friend is a startup based in Israel that builds chat clients for messaging apps based on artificial intelligence. While Facebook hasn't been having good record with their list of chatbots and AI-powered assistants, they are not giving up just yet. The people at TechCrunch seems to believe that this purchase is going towards setting up Calibra's futures list of services, which includes sending money, top-up phones, making purchases, and more. Facebook did not confirm nor deny TechCrunch assumption. Hello, Libra. Looks like you're still surviving.
I know, right? Despite what everybody says and every country says that they are most probably going to ban Libra if Libra does not come up with a proper black and white to say that they will not infringe, they will not step on the sovereignty of the countries. Facebook still says, I don't care, I'm still going to go ahead.
Yeah. Through you need us.
Yeah, you need us. I'm still going to go ahead and I'm going to see what happens.
Yeah.
The first problem here is this, right? Last week we said that France and the EU says that they will not want Libra
on board
in the Europe, but Facebook is not interested in the developed countries. They're interested in the developing countries.
Correct.
So far, the only developing country in the world that says they don't want Libra is India. Every other country is fine with it, or they haven't made up their mind what they want to do with it yet. So imagine if Africa, the entire Africa, all the nations in the Africa region says yes to it. They already have 1 billion people on board. And if they have Indonesia, there's another 1 billion there, right?
Yep.
Maybe they have half of China, right? And if Malaysia gets on board, and if Malaysia, Thailand gets on board, if Philippines gets on board, we have ourselves quite a
big thing here.
Yeah, quite a huge number of people. And even with that, Facebook doesn't have to go global yet. Even with that, Facebook can actually make money with
correct.
with Libra.
In fact, remember I talked about bypassing the government, whether the society will bypass the government and use Libra.
Yeah.
Which I read before one of the articles when they mentioned, right, Libra could actually take a short-term loss just to have people use the currency.
Yes.
Imagine what Grab is doing currently. Instead of 20% discount, they're giving you 80% discount to buy an item. Obviously, as a user, I would put my money into Libra and buy something at 20% off.
Yes.
Just to hop on to Libra.
So this is the like what you say, right? This tactic is what every single e-wallet service is doing. Grab is doing this, Boost is doing this, Touch and Go is doing this. They are intentionally losing money just in order to get activation and usage. And once people create a habit from using it, and when the habit is strong enough that it's
undetachable,
inconvenient to get out of it, right? Then that's when they start making money.
Correct. Yes. So that is the scary part.
This is what Apple does as well, because yesterday I was just chatting with a few friends, right? So one of my friend has he has an Apple Watch, he has an AirPod, and he also has an iPhone, right? And then he says that he also has a MacBook. So then he says that, the next phone I want to get might be an Android phone. Then I said, that's not going to happen. Then I said, it's not going to happen because you have an Apple Watch, which you can still work. You can't use an Apple Watch with an Android device. You can still use an AirPod with an Android device, but it won't work as well.
Yep.
Right? And you can still use a MacBook without an iPhone, but it won't work as well. You don't have that whole AirDrop kind of thing. So this is what Apple is doing. They are keeping you in a loop in this ecosystem, and it's impossible for you to get out, because if you want to get out, you lose the ecosystem. You lose the perfection that goes by working together.
Yeah. I'm doomed.
Yeah, it's happening with you. So this is
I'm doomed.
It's a very dangerous trap, you see? Because once you're there, if you want to get out of it, you have to buy a new headset, you gotta buy a new watch, or you gotta buy a new phone. And
anybody wants to sponsor me? I'm screwed, guys. Help me.
So let's go back to Service Friend, right? So Service Friend is actually a chatbot. It's a company that builds chatbots. And Facebook wants to use Service Friend to build a host of multiple chatbots and AI-powered bots in order to service everything in Calibra, including sending and receiving money, topping up phones, making purchases, all that kind of stuff that goes with it. This is a very big move because Facebook is pushing forward to e-commerce, e-wallet, and they don't care what other people think.
Yes, correct. And then it's even more powerful because it's powered by AI.
It's powered by AI, yeah.
Imagine a very efficient Lazada AI help you set up things and answer your questions, give you thoughts, everything, all by AI.
Yes. But I do want them to do one thing with this Service Friend. But actually come up with an AI that gives us advertisers proper customer service, because they are by far, I can safely say, the worst Fortune 500 company when it comes to providing customer service.
Yeah, they're very complex and complicated system which they don't really care.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem of complexity, because Google seems to be doing very well and they use humans. I think it's because they just don't care.
Yeah, correct. Because like or not, you still need us, so I don't care.
Yeah, it's like Facebook saying, you know what, whether I provide a service or not, you're still gonna need us. So
yeah, so find the solution yourself. It's there. Find it.
Exactly.
I have something else to do, such as this.
Yeah, such as making money.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, that's all for this week in Social Media Weekly. Social Media Weekly podcast is available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. This is Social Media Weekly episode 24th September 2019. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
Bye.
Sayonara.